Your vision is the blueprint, now build it. Everything begins with a vision, not a plan, not a step-by-step guide, not even a skill set. A vision, a picture in your mind of something greater than what you currently see, something that whispers to your spirit even when your surroundings scream otherwise. You see it when you close your eyes, you feel it when you're still, you dream of it when the world is loud. But here's the truth they don't teach in school. Vision is not a fantasy, it's a blueprint. A sacred scroll delivered to those bold enough to believe long before the bricks are laid, long before the crowd shows up, long before reality agrees. Because reality never agrees in the beginning. It mocks, it resists, it tests. And that's where most people stop. Not because they lack talent, not because they lack opportunity, but because they lacked the courage to believe what they saw in their mind was more real than what they saw in front of them. You must understand, your vision is a seed. And every day you doubt it, you starve it. Every day you ignore it, you bury it deeper beneath fear, insecurity, and noise. But every day you choose to feed it with focus, with effort, with clarity, with faith. It begins to take root. Not instantly, not dramatically, but quietly. Like all masterpieces do. Look at every legend you admire. They saw something no one else could see. Ford envisioned a world where every family had a car, not just the wealthy. Disney saw magic in a swamp of mosquitoes. Jobs imagined computers that fit in your hand when most couldn't imagine color screens. These men didn't wait for proof. They became the proof. Because they understood this fundamental law, the world does not respond to your dreams. It responds to your vision backed by action. That's what separates the dreamers from the builders, the wishers from the winners, the spectators from the creators. And if you're going to build the life you say you want, if you're going to fulfill the fire that burns in your chest at night when the noise fades, you must do one thing above all else. Decide that your vision is real. Not because others believe it, not because the numbers support it, not because someone gave you permission, but because you said so. That is the moment life changes. That is when the blueprint becomes the battle plan. That is when the unseen becomes the only thing you follow. Because once you truly believe, everything shifts. You begin to speak differently. You begin to walk with intention. You begin to cut distractions with the precision of a surgeon. You stop negotiating with doubt. You stop asking for directions from people who've never been where you're going. You stop seeking applause and start seeking alignment. And alignment is not just about motivation. It's about integrity with your future self. It's asking, am I living in a way that honors the person I'm becoming? Are my habits, my words, my energy moving me toward that vision or dragging me back into survival mode? Because you can't build greatness with a survival mindset. You can't create a castle with the mentality of a beggar. You must upgrade your internal software, rewrite the code, and it starts with belief. Not soft, poetic belief, but weaponized belief. The kind of belief that walks into rooms and doesn't flinch. The kind of belief that makes you immune to opinions. The kind of belief that says, this is mine, this is happening, this is done. That belief is forged through clarity. Clarity is the builder's compass. Without it, you will chase every shiny object. You'll be seduced by every trend. You'll abandon your vision the moment things get hard, and they will get hard. There will be days when nothing works. There will be weeks when progress seems invisible. There will be seasons when the world tells you to stop. But clarity says, keep building. Clarity says, we don't retreat. Clarity says, I didn't come this far to be shaken by shadows. Because here's what clarity gives you, peace in the process. You stop measuring by results. You start measuring by consistency. You stop chasing outcomes. You start becoming the type of person who can attract those outcomes. And when you do that, when you shift your focus from the finish line to the footsteps, because now your progress is inevitable. Now your results are just a matter of time. Now your dream is no longer a question. It's a blueprint under construction. And you're the architect. You lay brick after brick, discipline, focus, gratitude, learning, sacrifice. Each one stacks on top of the last, and slowly, silently, powerfully. The world begins to shift, not because it changed, but because you did. Because that's the secret. The vision doesn't build the life, but the vision guides it. Without the blueprint, you're just moving, busy, distracted, burned out. With the blueprint, you're building. So ask yourself today, what are you actually building? Not what you say you want, not what looks good on Instagram, but what you're actually constructing with your time, your habits, your mindset. Because every action is a brick, every thought is a tool, and every day is a work site. And whether you realize it or not, you're building something. Is it a legacy, or is it a prison? Is it the life you designed, or the one you settled for? You don't need more time, you need more intention. You don't need more approval, you need more conviction. You don't need to find your purpose, you need to wake it up. It's already in you, buried under years of noise, of doubt, of distraction. But it's there, and the moment you get still, the moment you get clear, it speaks. And when it speaks, listen, then move, then build. Because there's nothing more tragic than a vision that dies in your mind because you never trusted your hands to bring it to life. You must understand this. Every time you sit in silence and visualize the life you know you were meant to live, that is not fantasy. That is alignment calling you. But alignment is not passive. It's not a feeling. It's a decision. A decision to show up for your vision when it's still invisible. To believe in your blueprint when the foundation is nothing but dirt. To work like your name is already written in the concrete of history. You want to know why most people never build anything extraordinary? Because they fall in love with the picture but refuse to mix the cement. They collect quotes but not courage. They start projects but not legacies. They wait for motivation when what they need is discipline. And this right here is where the battle begins. Because once you've seen your vision, you're no longer blind. But seeing it and becoming it are two different mountains. The first is revelation. The second is transformation. And transformation will cost you. It will cost you comfort. It will cost you laziness. It will cost you your old identity, the version of you that was addicted to average. But what you get in return, what you build in return, is priceless. Because now you're not just surviving life, you're constructing one. You've become the engineer of your existence. No longer a tenant in your own body. You're the architect, the builder, the one who shapes what happens next. And here's what builders know. Blueprints without effort are just paper. You must move. Action is the chisel that carves vision into reality. Without action, all you have is potential, and potential unused becomes regret. That's why you can't afford to wait until you feel ready. You must begin now with what you have where you are. You begin with faith, not blind faith, but bold faith. Faith that if the vision was placed inside you, it wasn't random. Faith that if you have the blueprint, you were born with the ability to build it. Faith that the tools you don't yet have will reveal themselves the moment you start swinging the hammer. Because that's how vision works. It reveals itself in layers. You don't get the whole staircase, you get one step, and only after you climb that one does the next appear. So move. Move when it's hard. Move when it's dark. Move when no one claps. Move when your own voice whispers, maybe I'm not enough. Because that voice is a liar. You are enough. Not because you have all the answers, but because you have the blueprint. And with a blueprint, belief and work, anything is buildable. Let the world doubt. Let the critics mock. Let your old self beg for ease. You keep building. Lay the bricks of discipline daily. Discipline isn't punishment. It's devotion. Devotion to the vision. Devotion to the future. Devotion to becoming someone your past self wouldn't even recognize. Because here's what no one tells you. The blueprint isn't just about external success. It's about internal alignment. You are not building a life for the applause. You are building a life that makes you proud in silence. The kind of life that doesn't need validation because it is rooted in truth. Your truth. The truth that you were made for something. That your existence isn't a coincidence. That your vision was assigned, not imagined. But with assignment comes accountability. The world doesn't owe you support. It doesn't owe you convenience. It owes you nothing. Because the gift was already given. You saw the blueprint. Now it's your move. So stop waiting for conditions to be perfect. Perfection is a myth that paralyzes progress. Start with what you know. Start with what you can control. Start with one brick. One brick of discipline. One brick of focus. One brick of learning. And then stack it. Every day. And understand, setbacks will come, storms will rise, the wind will try to knock down your frame. That's not a sign to stop building. That's the universe testing your foundation. Will you anchor your walls in purpose or panic? Will you reinforce your resolve or fold with the first crack? Because nothing worth building happens without resistance. And the stronger the vision, the greater the resistance. But also, the greater the reward. Because once you've built from nothing, once you've constructed a life brick by brick through sweat, sacrifice and fire, you can never be shaken again. Not by failure, not by criticism, not by fear. Because now you know who you are. A builder, a warrior of purpose, a craftsman of destiny. You don't just survive seasons, you shape them. You don't just chase dreams, you forge them. And as you build, remember, your vision isn't just for you. It is the torch you carry for those behind you. It is the permission slip for others to rise. It is the legacy that will speak long after your voice goes silent. And legacy isn't fame. Legacy is impact. It's the echo of your decision to believe, to move, to build. When it was hard, when no one was watching, when it looked like nothing was working. That's where legacy begins. So build like your last name depends on it. Build like your children's children are watching. Build like the world needs what you were designed to create. Because it does. Your vision was not meant to stay on a page. It was meant to stand, to breathe, to serve, to transform. But only if you commit. Only if you execute. Only if you trust the hands you were given. So today, stop waiting. Stop dreaming without doing. Stop playing architect in your imagination and refusing to touch the dirt. Roll up your sleeves. Lay the first brick, then the next, and never stop. Because this is your blueprint. This is your moment. This is your legacy under construction. And when it's built, not only will you see it, the world will feel it. Because you didn't just have a vision, you built it. And in doing so, you became it.